Hey there, it's Jen Vax. One of the things I hate most is sitting down with a blank art journal page and feeling like I have to come up with the whole idea before I begin. So I created a completely different way of working. Instead of planning the finished page, I build a little world, one playful decision at a time. And I actually created a page builder that can make some of those decisions for me. So let me show you how this works. And the next bit here is the walkthrough on how to use my new Whimsical Bird art journal class, and it will show you how the page builder and all the prompts help you build a page piece by piece without having the pressure of making a decision on what the final outcome should be. So enjoy. Hey there, my creative friends. This is Jen Vax, and welcome to the Whimsical Bird Art Journal class. We are going to have so much fun creating an art journal that is full of whimsy with really great collage projects, page spread projects, painting, drawing, and it all comes together in your unique personality and style. And I hope that you come up with something really, really fun and most important, that you enjoy the process along the way. This course is a little bit different than other types of classes that you might see out there. You can take this class in a couple different ways. One is to sort of start at the very top. If you are brand new to my style of teaching and courses, this is what I would recommend. Once you get familiar, then it becomes very free-flowing. So I will explain. If you start at the top, you're going to see here, I'm going to talk a little bit about your color palette that you're going to choose for your journal. I highly recommend that you choose a set of colors that you're going to use for all of your materials, all of your pages and drawings, because it just pulls everything together in this beautiful, cohesive way. You don't have to do that by any means. Anything that I share with you, you obviously don't have to do. It's just what I did, and I'm going to share that with you. All right. Now, this is where we start to branch into two different ways of doing this class. The first way is to start with step one and prepare your pages and papers, and there's a whole bunch of explanation and how-tos in there. And that just really gets you ready. Your pages become not so blank. We're just putting color on your pages. And it seems like a really simple, basic thing, but it is the first step to any of your page spreads. Now, you don't need to paint every single page in your journal right up front. That will be challenging because the paint will be wet, and you're going to want to start to actually do some actual art, not just paint the pages. So it is a way for you to get away from the blank page. If you come back to your journal later, you'll have several pages eventually of different colors, and that can be very satisfying versus looking at a blank page and kind of feeling stuck. Then right after that, I recommend you dive into the bird collage fodder section. There are a lot of different types of collage that you can create for this class. They align with the prompts of this of the course. So there's going to be a lot of lessons on how to create your birds. You'll find your bird builder generator in this section. You'll learn how to make mushrooms and feathers and all kinds of really fun stuff that you can then add that to your journal. That is really kind of the personality in there. So you'll want to spend some time in there. You don't need to create everything all at once, but you'll want to at least have some pieces to work with as you move forward in the class. And if you discover that you get a prompt that requires a piece of collage fodder, well, then by all means, come back to that lesson and do a little bit or a lot, whatever inspires you at that time. The next step in your page development, after you've painted your pages, is to sort of create a foundation. This method really kind of steps you forward without really thinking about the final result. It gets you sort of putting pieces into place that then you can respond to. So instead of sitting down and having a full plan as to what you're going to create, instead you'll have color and you'll have a framework. And there's several different, very fun, different ways to frame, I'll air quote that, frame the page, to set that stage up for more creativity. So it's a very simple step, but I really do believe that you will enjoy that step very much because it sets you up for the next thing. And you can do step 2 across multiple page spreads, changing the prompt each time and having pages ready for you when you have time to come back to do more. So you could have an entire notebook of painted colors and several that actually have some framework drawn on them, just ready for you. That's a wonderful way to just get started without too much commitment. Then we go into step 3. This is where we start adding more things. There are quite a few prompts that you will see that you can do based on what you've done in step 2. So the idea is to respond to what you've done and to do more. You can follow the prompts that I provided for you, or it might already trigger something that you just really want to do instead, and you should absolutely follow that rabbit hole. What I'm going to share with you is just what ideas for you to try. But you can obviously always do whatever you want. But so we're going to add even more. We're really building up that foundation, building up that stage so that we have a place for all the other fun, creative things that we're going to do. Because when we get into step 4, this is when we bring the world to life. This is when we start to add our whimsical birds, our birdhouses, our mushrooms, our butterflies, and we can create all kinds of really fun compositions based on what we've done in the previous stages. So your page may look very, very different from something that I might have created based on your choices. And you might take a look at that page after step 3 and have a really fun idea of what you might like to do. And that's when you start to add in that personality into your pages. You can make things interactive, layer stuff on there. Keep it simple. It doesn't matter. It's your journal. And then the last step is finishing the page. And this doesn't mean necessarily that you are quote unquote finished. It simply gives you some additional things that you can do to the page to add more detail. So it could be filling spaces with doodles. It could be adding a decorative edge, adding a whimsical tab that sticks out outside the edge of your journal. It could be little things like that. And at any time you can go back and do and repeat as many different prompts in any of these steps as much as you want, So if you're kind of overwhelmed and you're like, I don't know what to do first, I highly recommend that you dive into the page spreads here. There is the full process lesson for the cover, which is kind of what you see here, and then several page spread projects that I have done step by step for you that you can just, if you want to, just draw along and get familiar with how the process works. And you can do exactly what I do. You can do just part of it and then get an idea and go off in a different direction. You can combine some things that you've seen. So that's what that's there for you, is to draw along with me, create along with me, and be inspired. Do your own thing or do what I'm doing and just have fun. Just really, truly have fun. Now, the other thing, I keep mentioning the word prompts, is that you can also access the page builder. So once you kind of get familiar with the prompts that you'll see explained in step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and also within the step-by-step page spreads and those projects, then you can open up the page builder, which is a lot of fun. So every time you come to the page builder, you are going to get a new shuffle. So I'm going to just go ahead and do that. And it's going to tell you, so if you open up a page and it's blank, you haven't done anything yet, it's going to guide you through each of the steps, giving you a choice as a random choice for you to do. So if you don't know what to do what the page builder tells you to do. This one says to use loose paint strokes and cover your pages with a couple different colors. So that's a lot of fun. You'll have a very visual texture onto your page. Then it says build the stage. So again, we're doing a foundation here. So there is add a tree. So you're going to add a tree shape to create a foundation on your page. Now you can probably already start thinking, well, that's going to give me a framework to add leaves, to add birds' nests and birds, and hang bird houses and put flowers in there and grass on the ground and mushrooms. It already starts to spark ideas just by putting in that tree foundation and framework. So then 3 is just developing that a little bit further. It's having you sort of slow down and sort of stay with what you're creating for a little bit longer. So here, this one says add bark texture. So you had drawn the tree shape. Now you're just going to spend a little bit more time giving the tree some personality. You can do that through paint, through line marks and doodles, collage strips. Texture can be really whatever you want it to be. And you can just have a lot of fun doing that. If at any point you don't like this particular prompt, you can always just hit new idea and get something else. This one says to add doodles and marks, and it gives you some suggestions here. And all of these are explained inside of the class under step 3. So anything that you don't know, or you need to see a video or a visual to go along with it, you can just refer back to the step and find that lesson within there, so it explains the prompt. Okay, and then step 4 is we are going to now start adding some characters, some homes, some whimsy to the world. In this case, it came up with adding bugs. So that could be ladybugs, snails, butterflies, bumblebees, whatever you want. And you can decide where those live, on that tree, around the tree, within the tree, on the ground, wherever you want. Add a nest. So you can add a nest. Obviously, it's going to right away open up the ability to put things in it. You can put eggs in it, birds in it, right? And add a sign. How cute is that? Maybe there's a cute little sign dangling from the branch. And you can do this over and over again. You can keep re-rolling, or you can even add in another step 4. This one says add a critter. So there's maybe you want to add a little friend, a little animal, a little monster, whatever. If you don't like that, you can always just re-roll it, add flowers. You can re-roll any of these as many times as you want. I have spent a lot of my time right here in step 4 because I get carried away. I start to add in birds. I start to go, oh, well, wouldn't they be cute if some of them had accessories or a hat? And I keep going and going and going. And you will see examples of that in the page spread projects. So if you were kind of like, I don't really have an idea yet, there's lots of inspiration in the page spread projects for you to refer to, just to get some ideas of what you might like to do, okay? And then finish the page, add a whimsical tab. It is one of my favorite things to do. And I also will say that even though this is designed to take you from step 1 all the way through for a page spread, once you get familiar with a lot of these prompts, you're going to have favorites. You're going to want to look for the ones that you really like. And at any time when you don't have a lot of time to do a full page, you can always flip through your journal and just do one thing. Maybe it's just add a whimsical tab, which is exactly what I've done many times where I don't have a lot of time. But I come back to a page I've been working on and I'm like, it would be cute. a mushroom that hangs off the edge over there. I'm going to put that on the bottom edge of the page. Or a bird peeking out at the top of the page. And if you don't know what a whimsical tab is, there's a lesson in it all about that. It's one of my favorite things. So that's what this is about. And this is just to help you start. It can help you finish. It can help you just simply add something to your page because you're a little bit stuck. Okay, so between this and the lessons here, you've got a lot of fun ways that you can create your bird journal, and it is going to be delightful. And I hope you have so much fun with this. So please share with me what you're working on. You can just send me an email if you want, or you can tag me out on Instagram and share with me what you're working on. I cannot wait to see what you create.